Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
It is so nice to have you here up in Wesley Chapel.
I love the new digs.
Don't you?
I mean, this is fantastic for the North Tampa Bay Chamber.
Yes, we're so excited. So let me properly introduce you. I have Billy Somerville, Somerville. And it's only one M.
It's only one M. It's one of those names that, you gotta spell it out sometimes. But
Well, I appreciate that. Now I'll make sure that we get that straight. But welcome to Emery's Rock Realty Studio, a podcast studio. We're so excited to have you. We're still in our teens on our podcasting, and I thought you would be a great guest today.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
So Billy is with the Tampa Bay History Museum. And I did not ask you your title before we got started so that I could properly introduce you, although I did spell your name.
So my name is Billy Somerville,
Yes,
and I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Tampa Bay History Center. And we are located right on Water Street next to Amalie Arena, which it's kind of Tampa's best kept secret.
It is, except for downstairs is the cafe.
Yes, Columbia Cafe is right there on Riverwalk. It is actually an air-conditioned open-air cafe.
And they play live music too, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about Tampa Bay history.
Absolutely.
And the museum, because you guys do so many cool things that I don't think everybody realizes what is down there. Like you said, it's the best kept secret, but it's on the Riverwalk.
Absolutely. So the History Center was built in 2009. On the Riverwalk, right at its inception, and it was really thanks to Mayor Pam Iorio, making sure that happened right at Cotonchobee Park, right next to Amalie Arena, in the heart of what is the heart of downtown. But at the time, in 2009, there was absolutely nothing there. Right. It was all the parking lots, all the really what was from Tampa's industrial heyday in downtown Tampa, and what was the Channel District. And now Water Street has grown up around us, but we have been around since 1989, and believe it or not.
Yeah.
So incorporated in 1989, developed from the Hillsborough County Historical Archives, and now we have 90,000 objects that are in our care. So a lot of work goes on behind the scenes to make sure that all those artifacts are cared for, that they're interpreted correctly, and that we have Tampa Bay history to tell future generations.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you have there right now, because I know that you have a very special exhibit now.
Yes.
But tell us how it all came about.
So our temporary show, Invisible Immigrants, is closing August 3rd. So I know we have a few weeks left.
So make sure you go.
Yes.
Check it out.
It's closing right at the end of summer, August 3rd, and that show is about immigration from Spain to the U.S. before 1945. And it really tells the story of a lot of Tampa families. A lot of Tampa families can trace their roots back to different provinces in Spain. So we got with the curators, a professor from New York University, and a filmmaker, worked for 15 years to develop this research and this body of work, and they published an awesome book with it. It is basically your grandmother's photo album. There are hundreds and hundreds of photos and family stories, and many of them are connected right here to Tampa Bay.
That's so cool. And, a thriving city and a thriving region needs the museums, the cultural art, and just having that in our backyard. And I don't think we think about that when we think Tampa Bay, Amalie Arena, yes, the, Rays, the football, all of that. But there's such a strong history behind us that got us here.
Absolutely. Tampa has some very unique stories. I mean, you can dive into the history of Ybor City, for instance, at the Tampa Bay History Center. We also talk about mob history, which is always an interesting topic. We feature Port of Tampa, Port Tampa Bay's history is also highlighted. Cattle ranching, for example, very important to this region, and a lot of families trace their lineage back to those original pioneers of West Central Florida. And we're happy to tell those stories. And we do so with our partners at museums across Tampa Bay. For instance, the Tampa Museum of Art has been around for over a century. The Henry B. Plant Museum. All of these accredited institutions, in fact, are on a single ticket through Visit Tampa Bay. It's called the Tampa Bay Riverwalk Pass. And that is a great way for people to see all the museums downtown, the aquarium, all of the different attractions, Victory Ship. Everything that you can possibly get to on Riverwalk is available with one ticket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I lived down there for 4 years and didn't even know that.
Shame
on me.
I always recommend it. And of course, visit the History Center first, because that is where you can kind of orient yourself to Tampa's downtown history and really regional history, because we cover historic Hillsborough County, which was this vast tract of land when the state was starting to form. And you can see in our map collection all of the different eras of Hillsborough County and how it was split up. We're in Pasco right now.
Was Pasco part of?
Pasco was part of it.
That's
yes.
awesome. When did we separate from?
I will have to check with
That's okay. I will
a real historian on that.
But hey, at least you got that. So, fun fact about the cattle: people don't know that Florida was a huge cattle.
And still is.
It still is. But the Florida Chamber actually started because of the cow tick, and the cattlemen all came together to eradicate the cow tick, and that's how the Florida Chamber started.
Very cool.
So look at that, history and history.
Well, I was in Plant City for the Strawberry Festival,
yes.
and we learned so much about cattle ranching and the agricultural community right here in East Hillsborough County and in Pasco that we're going back. So the Tampa Bay History Center will be at the Strawberry Festival this coming year, but that is fantastic. And our exhibit called Cowmen and Crackers, it is actually an interactive experience where they take you along on a cattle drive. And you get to actually sit in a real saddle that we have in the museum and go on this experience in West Central Florida. In addition to that museum is you can, if you were one of these families and your name, you've been here for several generations, your cattle, your brand may be on the wall. We did a lot of research into finding the different brands of families in the area. So we have put those all on the wall to see, and that's really, we talk about brands today and logos, but
it's important for your business. It was important back then.
The true cattle brands of West Central Florida are on display as well, and we recently pulled those out of the archives to highlight those.
It sounds like you have a really cool job and that you love it.
Very
too.
lucky, very lucky.
Yeah. How did you get into?
It's interesting because my background is in print design and creative, and many of us at the museum come from different backgrounds in anthropology or print design, for instance. But I would say that we all kind of gravitate towards great stories and great content. And at the History Center, we have so many stories that we just don't have enough time to tell all of them. I would say to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, the platform of your choice. Even LinkedIn has some great content on it, because this coming fall, when our season programming comes up, we do roughly 30 programs a quarter, and most of them are free and open to the public. So I definitely encourage. Absolutely.
I love free.
Florida Conversations is one of our signature series, and that's coming back this fall. We also stream it, so it is available on our YouTube channel, and that is you can check out our YouTube channel, Tampa Bay History Center, and it will have an archive of episodes to watch, free public lectures from scholars from around the states. And then I would say, getting back to invisible immigrants. Really quick,
absolutely.
While we're thinking about YouTube, we did a fantastic lecture with the Honorable E.J. Salcinas, and retired judge. Many people in our area know Judge Salcinas from decades of work that he's done in West Tampa, and he does a fantastic lecture, an overview of invisible immigrants and the history that we tell inside the Wayne Thomas Gallery. Now, this exhibit will be closing August 3rd, but this last lecture with Judge Salcinas was recorded and is on YouTube. So that's a great way to kind of get it oriented to the history of West Tampa and Spanish immigration during that time period.
Look at you guys, all advanced technology for history.
We're trying.
But you know what? We were talking about the growth here in our community, and we're writing our own history right now. They'll be talking about, hopefully, the chamber one day at the History Museum and what happened here and how it was all part of it. But being able to get that message to people where they're at, I think is really, really cool and very forward thinking for perhaps when you think history, you think old, you think, antiquated, but you guys seem to be on the cutting edge with technology.
I think part of, one of our values is accessibility. And we want to be as accessible to our audience as possible. So making sure that these public lectures are recorded, streamed live on Zoom, so there's an interactive element. People can ask questions from home. And that way we can archive them digitally and make it accessible to the world. So that is really helping our mission and is one of our core values at the History Center. We also do a lot of online and hybrid programming. We are very involved in OLLI courses with USF.
I just learned about the OLLI Osher courses.
Yes.
I just learned about that with my previous guest, who she's speaking, and then I think she invited me to go speak too. So I don't know if it'll make the history one, but
Absolutely. So every season we do several OLLI courses in partnership with USF, and History Center members do have, I believe, the registration fee waived. I have to check on that, but you just call Osher and they'll set you up. But that is one example. Another example is our book group that we work with Tom Blow Books out in St. Pete and are curating a selection of books for the next season coming this fall. So that is another exciting way that we have a hybrid book group. So they meet in person and they also meet on Zoom. And it's all Florida history-based local authors, which is fantastic.
That is really cool. So what's your favorite history of Tampa?
I think that it's really important for folks to understand why we're called Cigar City. And we work very closely with the Newman family. J.C. Newman Cigar Company is located right in the heart of Ybor City and is the last working cigar factory. And our audience can take a tour during factory hours.
Highly recommend doing that because it's such a cool building.
Very cool.
Watching them hand roll.
And we have an exhibit called Cigar City. It's our Cigar City Gallery, which dives into the history of Ybor City and cigar making and how the industry helped build Tampa to what it is today. And the J.C. Newman factory, they have their own museum there, and it's fantastic. They have a fantastic museum and factory store, and then the tour just doesn't do the gallery justice. So we always recommend to check out the J.C. Newman factory tour, and it's a few minutes away from the museum. You can actually take the streetcar there and then hop on it to get there. So it is always a highlight that I recommend, and just understanding what that industry meant to so many families that moved here. And I think so many families can trace their origins, to the cigar making industry and the culture that surrounded it.
It's so cool. I call it the trolley. And my very dear friend, the CEO of the Ybor City Chamber, has to fix it.
It is
every
streetcar.
time. It is a streetcar.
For the record, yes.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm going to still call it a trolley. I don't know why. It's a streetcar. It's very fun. And it's still free, right?
Still free.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're trying to get people to go downtown to explore what we have. Sometimes we get in our little bubbles, and Tampa is just the most incredible city. I know that you're not originally from here, right?
I am actually from Sarasota.
Okay. So you're not too far.
Not too far. Still the Gulf Coast. But what I will say is this week as well, we have a lot of news to share this week.
Okay.
So
let's break some
we are in the
news.
middle of Archives Awareness Week and at the recording. So I know that this is going to air next week, but it is Archives Awareness Week, which happens every year, and it's happened for the last 30 years, believe it or not. And it's presented by the clerk's office. So the City of Tampa's clerk's office, Office of Records and Archives, presents this week. There are 14 different free public events this week. Tonight we'll be at the airport. I know this is airing afterwards, but we will be there in force to encourage them to participate again next year. Fingers crossed. But TPA is jumping and opening their archives at the Tampa International Airport for the first time ever. And to know the history of Tampa aviation is another great story for if you've just moved to the area, because this is the home of the first commercial flight in the world. So this is, Tony Jannus flew from Tampa to St. Pete.
Oh.
Or St. Pete to Tampa.
That was
correct,
a long
You can correct me on
ride.
that. 1914.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Correct me in the comments.
Yeah. We don't have that many viewers, so it's okay.
Oh, we will now.
We will now that we have you on this show. So TPA is the biggest, but I will say the biggest engine we have in our community. Not taking anything away from the port, but I think more humans obviously go through TPA, and we keep getting ranked as the best airport in the nation.
And those are through customer surveys.
Yeah.
That is not, a marketing, vote for us type of survey. Those are actual customer reviews. And I think that says so much to really Tampa's priorities as being a destination and understanding that it is a regional resource. I know that the Tampa International's history is also really interesting because the model of the original or the airport that we see now was so revolutionary, that hub and spoke model that speeds us through security, and it does so in such an effective way, was revolutionary at the time.
Yeah.
Also,
that was before security was what security is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say that tonight I'm looking forward to finding out more about through a panel discussion with our historian, Rodney Kite Powell. He is the Hillsborough County historian, and he will be joining others from Tampa International Airport to talk about aviation history. And that's tonight. It's Thursday. So
Tonight's Wednesday, actually.
Actually, it's Wednesday.
So is tomorrow? Is
tomorrow night?
Well, that's actually even kind of better.
Up.
Yeah, that's okay. If we could get it up, we'll talk to my summer intern who's helping me with my podcast. As long as the sound actually works on this, that's why I keep checking to make sure that I'm over here and it's actually recording. So we'll see.
Well, long story short, aviation history.
Yes,
an absolute must. And my last comment about Tampa International and what a great airport it is their wayfinding signage. Now, I'm a design nerd, so they were revolutionary in the way that they designed their wayfinding signage, and it was a woman that kicked it all off, and she was award-winning at the time. Like, this was groundbreaking for air travel and really public transportation.
Of course it was a woman. We're the ones that get around.
Absolutely.
No, we all get around. So that, and then you do walking tours, and
we do.
I saw. Did you guys host a ghost tour?
We don't do ghost tours,
okay.
But we do walking tours of downtown Tampa, Ybor City, Central Avenue. Historic Central Avenue in Tampa is originally part of the Scrub neighborhood, and now it's called the Central Park neighborhood of Tampa, right where 275 is. It sort of runs north to south that way. And that was originally where Tampa's African-American community started. Black businesses thrived in this area, and it really is part of the cultural fabric of Tampa. We are working on a new project also. This is another story to talk about.
Another breaking news.
I know. Tell me when we're out of time.
No, we have all the time. We have all the time in the world.
This is why I love podcasts, because you can just keep talking.
Keep talking.
No, this is really interesting. So the Tampa Bay History Center is working with the Tampa Housing Authority. It's a true partnership to develop Tampa's first Black History Museum. And it will be called Tampa's Black History Museum, located in Encore, which is a sprawling development just north of downtown near Union Station on Nebraska.
Yep.
And
Or you veer off to go to Ybor or
Perry,
go north.
yes, and Perry Harvey Park's right there.
What's that house that's right there? The big pink house that's falling down and right across from Union Station.
Oh, that's the Jackson House.
The Jackson House.
Yeah. So that is a project with the Jackson House Foundation in the city of Tampa, and they're working to restore that too. But we'll be telling all sorts of stories inside Tampa's Black History Museum, and we had a program last night, which was Tuesday.
We got our days straight now.
And we are actually on a campaign to really bolster the History Center's collection. I mentioned we had 90,000 objects, and we need more. But specifically, we need more that are tied to Black history in Hillsborough County. So we are putting out a call to action to anyone that has old photographs or stories to share or may know of where an artifact might be, to reach out to us and let us know. We're looking for photographs specifically. If it is a physical object that is a little bit larger, taking a photo with your phone and emailing it to us is fantastic.
Oh.
And
how do they get that? So, or they can come to you, to the museum, or reach out?
There is an email address on our collections page.
Okay.
And we're also going to publish on our YouTube channel last night's program. So that was recorded, and it was a workshop on the collections policy, what to look for in historical artifacts, different photographs that we know exist but we can't find. And these are all essential in building Tampa's Black History Museum.
And it's going to go in the Encore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the structure is actually the historic St. James Church, and the housing authority spent millions to completely renovate this historic building. The outside was untouched. The inside is a blank canvas. So the permanent exhibit will be housed inside St. James. And we have been doing programming in this space for the past 2 years and have seen thousands of people, believe it or not, go through those doors for history-based programming right in the heart of Encore.
That's really cool. When is this slated to officially open?
We are looking. This is building
Very
a museum
fluid,
is
I'm sure.
Building a museum is a very nuanced process, and we are working on building the collection, looking at different stories, how they fit together, how those objects tell that story visually, because we're so visual now. We need something to draw us in, right? And that is a long process. So we're looking at roughly 18 months or so, which feels really long, but it's going to go by in a blink of an eye.
That's about every project that takes place
Yes.
is about 18 months,
Yes.
unless it's an outdoor project and there's hurricanes. But I can appreciate
as you know, when we're building hospitals in Pasco County, or even the work that I'm seeing at the shops at Wiregrass right now. I mean, it is incredible to see all of these new storefronts and all of the infrastructure work that they're doing.
It's very exciting, and retail follows rooftops, so we've got a lot of rooftops here, and so it is. Again, we're writing our own part of history.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
Well, it has been great chatting with you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Hope, for having me.
Remind everybody your website and or your handle.
Yeah. So
is that still cool to call it a handle?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm not down with my.
I try to stay up on. I think handles good.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
But anyone can find us at tampabayhistorycenter.org, and if you search Facebook for Tampa Bay History Center, just click on the one with the little blue check mark. Instagram, you can tag us at Tampa Bay History, and
if you have really cool things that you want to share, that's part of Tampa's history.
Absolutely,
they've got a collections portion on it.
Absolutely. So we have a special form on our website. It goes directly to our team of curators, registrars, historians. These are all professionals in the industry that have been working at this for decades. We've recently had some folks join us from the State Museum. So it has been a summer of growth for the Tampa Bay History Center, and we are
exciting.
Super excited to tell more stories in 2026.
How many people do you have on staff?
We're a little bit smaller. I'd say 22.
Hey, I'm a staff of 2.
22, yeah.
Listen, lean and mean.
Lean and mean, but we, I think the motto at the History Center right now is growth and change, and we are all embracing it, and it has been a fantastic summer for us.
That's awesome. You have a lot of volunteers, though.
We have over 60 volunteers, and we are always welcoming more. Listen, if you love history and you would like to give back to our community, our volunteers are the best. They are, that we call them the history crew.
So they're like their own crew?
It is. I mean, the amount of training that our volunteers and docents go through is next level. I mean, the training, I think, is roughly a week. All of our docents lead field trips throughout the week. So we see about 12,000 school kids, fourth graders, come through our gallery space during the school year, and then thousands more on group tours throughout the rest of the year. So this is an essential part of our mission, and the 60 plus volunteers that are actively in the History Center keep it going. The History Center couldn't operate without its volunteer workforce. So we're super thankful for them and for everyone that is a history nerd out there. They are welcome anytime. We're open daily, 10 to 5, and there are plenty of new items on the menu at the Columbia Cafe.
Oh,
too.
lovely! But the staple, the sangria.
The sangria, yes,
is the staple. So we're delighted to have you with us today.
Awesome. Thank you
and
for inviting me.
It. We could stay here forever and talk, but we got to wrap things up and let you get back downtown. Thank you for coming all the way up.
I appreciate it. It was a great drive. Thank you.
All right, thanks.